Hello students, welcome back. My name is Neeraj Paratha and this is your physics class. In previous classes we are discussed about the earthquake, rain and thunder and lighting. Now we are moving to our next chapter and next topic, that is a night sky. In that chapter we are discuss about the complete universe which are able to see at the time of a night. Whenever you are seeing at the time of night in the sky, that time you feel there is some stars will be seen. Okay, and that star, what is that star, what happening with that star, how it will be twinkling. Okay, so we are discussing that chapter, that chapter name of that chapter, that is a night sky. In that chapter, so today's topic is night sky. So we discuss the complete chapter one by one. The night sky, after a sunset the night will be start. If you are talking about the day and night, so how many times is the day and how many hours is the at the time of a night. So after a sunset, after the time which is start from the after a sunset, that is called a night. After sunset the night skies is a dotted with a bright stars. All the sky is visualized with the some dotted, that is a stars with the form of a brightness. Okay, these stars are more visible through the telescope, and most of the stars are yellow in a colors and few of them are white or red in a colors. Means student, that statement is says some star we are seeing the all the star are twinkling and all are having a white light, but practically if you are seeing that star with the some instrument, that is a telescope, that time you feel that some star having a yellow in a colors and few of them are a red and a white in a colors. Okay, the most important property of the star is that they appears to a twinkling, they appears to a twinkle. It is not reality, it is a twinkling, but due to a many layers of a atmosphere, when light is coming from the stars and reaching to the earth, it passing the many layers of the atmosphere, and every layer of a atmosphere having a different densities. Okay, so due to that density we feel that that star will be twinkle, practically it not twinkling. Another important object visible at the night in is moon. It is visible at night is a moons, and whose size changes every night. That size is changes every time. Sometime we feel that is a circle, sometime half circle, sometime some only some part of that circle. Okay, a moon do not appear to twinkle, but moon are not appears to a twinkle. So what is the reason behind that, why the size will be changes a date every night, and why moon it's also a not twinkling, why this is the reason behind that. So we discuss the whole things. So next topic, astronomical distances. Astronomical distances means we are talking about the long distance. We are talking about the long distance, just like from sun to earth and earth to any other planets. Okay, that distance not measure in a kilometer, it is measured in a some different units, guys. The billions of star and other heavenly body, that is a very heavy bodies in the universe, are separated by such a large distance. If you are talking about the some stars, so every star maintains some distance, and that distance is not a small distance, it also it is separated by a very long distances. So the ordinary unit of measuring a distance, basically we are measure the distance in a meter and kilometer, but it's not a ordinary distance, it's a very high and very long distances. Okay, so 8 meters and kilometers or miles are not adequate for a purpose, so we are not using that unit for measure that long distance. Okay, so which units are used? So we are talking about that unit, that is a light year and the parsecond. The light year and the parsecond also a unit of a distances. So how we use and how many kilometers are covered in a light year and a parsecond, we discussed that mathematical expressions. Let's see. For measuring these extremely large distances, we use two astronomical units, that is a light year and the next one is a parsec. Okay, the first one is a light year and second one is a parsec. A light year is defined as the distance traveled by a light in a 1 year. The light year is the distance and it is defined as the in a kilometer. It is defined as a kilometer. But how many kilometers? That kilometer is a if light is moving continuously 1 year. In 1 year that distance is covered is called a 1 light year distance. Okay. So you know that the speed of light is a 300,000 kilometer per second and 1 year having a that amount of a second. So when we are multiplying, you know that is the distance, you know that velocity is equivalent to a distance upon time. So we use that expression, distance is equivalent to a velocity multiplied by time period. So velocity is the speed of light and time, that is a 1 year. So first of all we convert that complete 1 year into a seconds. First of all we convert the complete 1 year into a second. So 1 year means 365 days and every day is having a 24 hours and every hours having a 60 minute and every minutes having a 60 second. So by multiplying all these quantities we are getting the 1 year is equal to these amount of seconds. Okay, that is a time period and you know that is a speed of a light 300,000 kilometers per second. Now multiply velocity and time period, that time we are getting that value, that is a 9.46 into a 10 to the power 12 kilometer. That is a distance of a 1 light year. Means someone says that distance between that planet to that planet is a 2 light year. That means that is a 2 multiplied by 9.46 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 kilometer, just double of that amount. Okay, so that is a light year. Next measuring unit of a distance, that is a very large unit, that is a parsec. In previously we are discussing 1 light year is equal to 9.46 into 10 to the power 12 kilometer. So 1 parsec is equivalent to a 3.26 light year. 3.26 light year, guys. It is not a small amount, it is a very long distance. 1 light year is equivalent to a 9.46 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 kilometers. Means whenever we are multiplying 3.26 multiplied by 9.46, that time we are getting the amount of a 1 parsec. One more distance is used, that is the distance traveled by the light at a speed of, that is a speed of light in a 1 minute is called the light minute. Means an object is traveling with the speed of light. Now distance traveled by that object in a 1 minute. In a 1 minute, that distance is called a light minute. Okay, means light representing the speed of light, minute represent the timing, that is a 60 second. 1 minute is equivalent to a 60 second. Now that is amount of a speed, that is a 300,000 kilometers per second and 1 minute is converted into a seconds. Now we are converting that is a second, so that amount is coming, that is a 18 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 kilometer. 18 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 kilometer, that is a 1 light minute. That is a 1 light minute. Now we are moving to a next, that is a stars. So what is the star, guys? Now the stars are heavenly bodies that are extremely hot and given out the light to their own. Means star having an own light, that is a luminous, natural luminous objects. So that is one more question. Star is a natural luminous object, means it's having a own light because it is a very hot bodies. Stars are mainly made up of hydrogens. Stars are mainly made up of hydrogen. That is a questions, guys. So what is the amount and which type of gases are used to form a star? That is a hydrogen. Inside the star, hydrogen is continuously being converted into a helium. When the hydrogen converted into a helium, that is a nuclear reactions, guys. Okay, so in that nuclear reactions, a very large amount of heat is generated. So by fusion reaction, that process when the hydrogen means that is a one molecules of a hydrogen merge with the other molecules of a hydrogen and make a helium molecules and atoms, that is called the fusion reactions. And these process release a tremendous amount of energy which is given out of the heat and light. Means at the surface of that star, hydrogen that is formed, that is a formation of a hydrogen, that is a formed by a hydrogen. That hydrogen react with the other isotopes of the hydrogen, and after reaction it makes a heliums. And in that process the fusion, nuclear fusion will be happening, and due to that nuclear fusion a high amount of energy will be released, and due to that amount of a high amount of energy, it is gives the heat and light also. Okay, so next point is the star vary color depending on their temperature. Okay, so basically when any body will be heat up, then after increasing the temperature the body's color will be changes. So as per the temperature the different colors will be happening of that stars. So the colors are the same as one would observe when a piece of a metal is heated. So you can feel that colors when you are heating any metal, that after some time the metal having changes different colors as increases the temperature. The metal first glow red hot. First of all it becomes a red hot, then brighter and then yellow, and until it is a white hot at the last. When the temperature becomes a very high, at the last it converted into a very white hot bodies. Okay, it is feel that the white bodies, it is form a color that is a white. Our sun is a yellow star with a surface temperature of about 60,000 degrees centigrade. 6,000 degree centigrade. It is not a 60,000, that is a 6,000 degree centigrade. Okay. So what is the temperature at the sun? Surface of the sun, that is a 6,000 degrees centigrade. A star appears to be moving in the sky from east to west. Whenever you are see the any star, that time you feel that star is moving from east to west. But star are not moving, it is feel, it is your relative position, guys, because earth rotate in the form of on axis from west to east. When earth is rotate from a, let's suppose that is a position, and earth is moving from west to east. When the earth is moving from west to east, that time if any body is placed nearby that time you are standing here and earth will be moving, that time you feel that that body is moving in other direction. Okay, it is same as when you are sitting in your train and the nearby train is start to move, that time you feel that it is moving in a opposite direction. Okay, that time you feel that your train is moving and that body, other bodies will be moving in a opposite direction. So it happening why the bodies and star are moving from a west east to west, because earth is rotate in on axis on a west to east. That is the reason behind that. Why do star appear to us like a point object? If you are present and available at the surface of earth and the distance of any planet, that is a 3.26, that is a 1 parsec. If you are talking about the 1 parsec, that is a 3.26 multiply by 9.46 10 to the power 12 kilometer, that is a very high distance. If you feel that, let's see, that is an experiment for us. If that pencil and that pen is on nearby to us, you are feel that length. If you are moving that object away from your eyes, that you can feel that that size of that object is small, but practically it's not a small size. it is having a same size. So after a long distance object, you feel that that is a small point, that you can say, due to that reason you can say the very large distance, due to a very large distance, the star appeared to us like a point object due to a very long distance. Okay, that is the reason behind that. Why do the distance between any two stars does not changes when viewed from the earth? Basically, stars are a very available at a very long distance, and when the light is coming from that star to the surface of earth, it takes a very long time. It takes a very long time. When the light is coming, start from the star and reaching to earth, okay, the other light will be coming from that star to a earth. It take a very long time. That is the reason behind that. So read out that stars are moving away from each other at a very high speed. It is moving a very fast. However, when viewed from the earth, the distance between them does not seem to change because they are very far away from us. They are very far away from us. Hence, any change in distance between them does not become predictable in few years, or you can few hundred of years. We are not predict them. Okay, because light cannot reach very fast to us. It takes a long time. So due to that reason, we are not able to predict that distance between them. Why do the star appear to move from the east to west? That is the reason is behind that. Earth is rotate from a west to east. When the earth is rotate on axis west to east, that is the reason earth you are present and available at the surface of it, and you feel that stars are moving from east to west, but practically that reason behind that is that earth is rotate from east to west. Okay, so okay, west to east, west to east. Earth are moving from west to east. Due to that reason, you feel that the star are moving from east to west. Okay. Next point is, why does the pole star, that is called in a Hindi, that is a Dhruv Tara, and that is a Polaris, okay, does not change its position in the sky? You can see that diagram. In that position, what happening, that is the earth, and that is the position of that pole star. When earth is rotate in any direction, that is the direction is given, that is a one direction, that is a west to east. Okay, if that is a rotation of that, that is reason behind that, that position of that star is at the poles. If any object is placed here and you are rotating in that direction, so direction will be changes or not in that position. At any position of earth, at any position of the surface of earth, if you see that point, that is a pole star, every time you feel a single direction and single point. So that is a reason. Due to that reason, it not changes its position in the sky, because it's available at the north pole and north and south pole of a earth axis. Okay, geographical north pole. The pole star is situated in the direction which is directly above the geographical north pole of the earth axis. Earth axis. Okay, that is a reason. Due to that reason, that pole star is not changes our position every day and any condition. How does the pole star help to travelers and the sailors at the night? Because its position is not changes, it every time shows a particular one direction, so you can use that is the direction. If at the time of night you can see that is the pole star and that is the direction, so every time it is available in a same direction. Okay, that is an indication of that direction. Okay, the pole star always point in the north direction. So by using and by looking that star, you can feel and you can as prove that that is the north direction. Thus, looking at the position of the pole star during the night, one can easily find the geographical direction and hence take the correct routes. At the time of night, if you doesn't having any equipment to identify the directions, that time if you are able to see that no pole star, so you can identify that direction, that is a north direction, and you can find the correct routes. Next one, which is the nearest star to the earth? The star nearest to the earth is the sun itself. That is the nearest. Which is the nearest star of the earth? That is the sun is the nearest star of the earth. The next nearest star is the Alpha Centauri and the Proxima Centauri. That is the objective questions, guys. Which is the nearest star? First of all, that is the sun, and which is the nearest star in the is the next nearest star is the Alpha Centauri and Proxima Centauri. Okay, next. So next point is, how far is the sun from the earth? Is the light from it reaches us 8.3 light minutes. Means that you know that the speed of light is given. If time is given, that time you can calculate by using that formula, velocity is equal to distance upon time. So by using that formula, velocity is given and time period is given. So by using that expression, we can calculate the distance of between that bodies. So 1 light minute is equivalent to that amount, that is 18. Okay, now and multiply by 8.3 light minute, that is that amount. So we can getting that is 150 multiply by 10 to the power 6 kilometer approx. So that amount, that is a distance between a sun and earth. Okay, now how far is the nearest star Alpha Centauri from the earth in kilometers? Alpha Centauri is a distance of 4.3 light years. That is a 4.3 light years. Distance can be calculated, distance traveled by a 1 year and number of a light year. So in a 1 light year, you know that 1 light year is equivalent to a 9.46 into 10 to the power 12 kilometer. Okay, now so that is multiplied by a total light year, that is a 4.3 light year. So light year to a light year cancel out, 4.3 multiplied by 9.46. So we are getting a value in the form of a kilometer. So we are getting 40.678 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 kilometer. That is a distance between a nearest star Alpha Centauri from the earth surface in the form of a kilometers. Okay, now galaxies. In previously we are discussing about the some stars. Now we are talking about the some galaxies. An enormous cluster of billions of a star means, what do you mean by the galaxies? When the many of the stars are joining together and form a some phenomena and some structure of the star, that is some diagram and some picturization and some animation of that is called the galaxies. Okay, the enormous cluster of billions of stars held together by a gravitational force is called the galaxy. A galaxy is the building block of the universe. Means if you are talking about the any buildings, that time what is you are saying, every building having a many flats and every flats having a some number of rooms. So in that line we are saying the galaxy is a building and the group of the star, that is a flats, and every flat having a many rooms, means every galaxy and every group having a some stars. So star related to rooms and the flat related to your galaxies and universe is the buildings. Okay, so there are about 100 billion galaxies. 100 billion galaxies means 10 to the power 11 galaxies is available in our universe. In every universe every galaxies, that in our universe, that is a 10 to the power 11 galaxies, and each and every galaxies has an average 100 billion stars. Every galaxy is having a 10 to the power 11 stars. Means if you are want to calculate the total number of stars in a universe, now multiply the total number of galaxies and total number of stars in every galaxies. Total number of star in a one galaxy, that is approximately 10 to the power 11. And how many number of galaxies are available in universe? That is also 10 to the power 11. So now multiply that two quantities and we are getting a total number of stars. So 10 to the power 22 number of stars are available in our universe. The two important galaxies in our universe, that is the Milky Way galaxy and Andromeda galaxies. Milky Way galaxies and Andromeda galaxies. Let's see. We are dividing the galaxy into three categories on the basis of the shapes, that is a spiral, elliptical and irregular. So that is this is a diagram of a spiral. Next to diagram is a elliptical and the irregular. That is a elliptical and that is a irregular galaxies. Okay, so we are dividing our galaxies into a basically three parts. That is the name of that spiral, elliptical and the irregular galaxies. So one by one we are discussing the galaxies. Spiral galaxies are the spiral in the shape, okay, as shown in a figure, and the range from the 20,000 to 100,000 light year in a diameter. That is a diameter, guys. It is a very long distance. 1 light year is a very long, so that is a 20,000 to 100,000 light year. Means 1 light year is a 9.46 into 10 to the power 12 kilometer. Now multiply by a 20,000 and 100,000 light year. Okay, so it is a very long diameter, guys. Okay, our own Milky Way galaxies is an example of a spiral galaxies. We are existing, our Earth is exist in a Milky Way galaxies, that shape is a spiral galaxies. Approximate 80% of the total galaxies are of this kind. Means if you are talking, there is a 100% galaxies, that 80% of galaxies is having a shape of a spiral. Okay, now the spiral galaxies have a well defined nucleus and the large spherical halo composed of a star. That is a one center, that part is a nucleus. Okay, next one is the elliptical galaxies. So what is the properties and what is the construction of elliptical galaxies? In 80% galaxy is a spiral galaxies. 80% of the galaxies are observed, that is a elliptical galaxies. These galaxies are elliptical in shape as shown in a figure. They account of for 18%. 18% galaxies are having a shape of a elliptical galaxy. However, it is estimated that their number is far larger than the observed percentage. According to that measurement, if we are saying that is 18%, but that is approximately more than to measurement, that is more than to 18%. The elliptical galaxies are classified on the basis of their shape in 8 categories. So every category is given the name, that is a E0 to a E7, that is a E0, E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6 and E7. From 0 to 7 there are the 8 layers and 8 categories are designed of every. E0 galaxies are nearly spherical. E0 galaxies are nearly spherical. We are mentioned that is a S. While higher number represent increase the degree of a flattening. After some, when the number will be increasing, it will be moving to a flat surface. It will be moving to a flat surface. E7 is a highly flatter. It is a very flat galaxies. Okay. First one is a spherical, and when the number of that galaxies categories will be increases, it will be moving to a flat surface and moving to close to a flat. In spite of their own size, the elliptical galaxies are less luminous than a spiral galaxy. It is a less luminous as compared to a spiral galaxies. It is because they are mostly composed of old pollution stars such as red and yellow stars. All polluted, that is a red and yellow stars. Now, last one galaxies, that is the irregular galaxies. In that, the small galaxies which is lack clear symmetrical form are called the irregular galaxies, as shown in a figure. Very small and the lack clear symmetrical, very less amount of galaxies are available. That is a 2% of total galaxies. In these galaxies, we find a lot of dust and large number of blue stars. In that galaxies, a lot of the number will be dust and the blue star are present. So if someone asks about the in which galaxy blue star are present, so that is a irregular galaxies. Irregular galaxies containing and having the blue stars. Okay. Now we are talking about the Milky Way galaxies. The name Milky Way galaxies come from the Greek word. So what do you mean by the Greek? That is a gala. That is a gala, which means is a milk. Which means is a milk. Milky Way is the hazy luminous band of a white light seen stretch across the sky at the night. So that is visible at the time of a light very easily. In Indian name is Akash Ganga. In India, the Milky Way galaxies is also called Akash Ganga. Okay, our solar system is a part of a Milky Way. If you are talking about our solar system that contain a sun and the many planets and many stars, all are present in a Milky Way galaxies. Okay. The Milky Way contain more than 100 billions of stars, and the Milky Way is called our galaxy. That is our galaxies, guys. If you are talking about the which is our galaxies and in which galaxy we are present, that is a Milky Way galaxies. Milky Way is a spiral galaxy in the form of a disk which is bulged at the center, tapering off towards the edge. Its diameter is about 10 to the power 5, that is 100,000 light year, and the central thickness is about 10 to the power 4 light year. Diameter is 10 to the power 5 light year, and the thickness is given, that is 10 to the power 4 light. Means, guys, it is a very high amount of a thickness and very large size of a Milky Way galaxies. That is 100,000 light year. One light is a year is a very high distance. If you are talking about 100,000 light year, there is a very long distance. Okay. So constellation. Now we are talking about a group of stars which are arranged in a pattern. If you are collect some stars and that star form a particular shape, so that is called the constellation. Okay. The group of stars which are arranged in a pattern resembling some recognizable figure is called the constellation. And there are about 88 constellations that we know. All the stars in the constellation appear to stay together, so its shape remain in the same. So all the stars which are present in the constellation are living and stay together, so the shape of that constellation is not change every time, having a same shape. Four of well-known constellations are Orion, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, and the Cassiopeia. That is a four most important and well-known constellation Orion, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, and the Caspio. That is a four important constellation. Now one by one we are discuss that constellation. First one is a Orion. Orion is one of the magnificent constellation in the sky. It contains seven bright stars. Four of these appear to be arranged in the form of a quadrilaterals. In the out of the seven, four are arranged in the form of a quadrilateral and other three form a straight line in the middle. So you can feel that is some quadrilateral will be formed, that is 1 2 3 and that is arranged in that form. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, mostly 7 star will be included in a Orion. Okay, so that is becomes a quadrilateral. So if you are talk about some quadrilateral, that time it make some quadrilateral. Okay, now one of the largest star are known as a Betelgeuse. Okay, in out of the seven, that is a one most star, that is a Betelgeuse is situated on of the corner of the quadrilateral, while another bright star called the Rigel, another bright star is called the Rigel, is located on the opposite corner. Means if you are talking about the 2 points, that is a if one is available at here, so other will be available at here. That is a one corner is at the one corner which is the Betelgeuse and the other corner is the Rigel, is located on its opposite corners. The arrangement of the star in this constellation resembles a hunter with a belt and the sword. Hunter with a belt and the sword. Okay, this constellation is visible during the winters in the northern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, at the time of winter, that constellation can be seen easily in the sky. Ursa Major, it is also known as a Great Bear. Other name of Ursa Major, that is a Great Bear, Big Dipper and a Saptarishi. These three are the other names: Big Dipper, Great Bear and the Saptarishi. Ursa Major contains 7 stars making the pattern of a plug, making of a formation of a plug. A line drawn through the pointer of the plug leads us to a pole star, that is a Dhruv Tara, and the pole star always appears in the same position in the sky as it is directly above the North Pole. Yes, before that we are discussing. This constellation is visible during the summer. Orion is the constellation which is visible at the time of a winter, and the Ursa Major is the constellation which is visible at the time of a summer. Ursa Minor also a constellation. It is also known as a Little Bear. Ursa Major is called, that is a Big Bear, that is called a Little Bear, Little Dipper, and Ursa Minor also consists of a 7-star arrangement is a similar manner to those to a Ursa Major, but the star in this constellation are closer together and less brighter than an Ursa Minor. If you are compare the brightness of a Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, so which is the brighter, means Ursa Major is a high brightness and Ursa Minor having a low brightness as per the comparison. The last star in the handle of the Little Dipper is the pole star itself. Okay, in total 7 stars, the large star is a pole star. Ursa Minor is also known as the pole star constellation, and this is also visible in a summer. Means out of the three, that is a Orion, Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Orion is visible at the time of a winter, and the Ursa Major and Ursa Minor is visible at the time of a summer. Okay, that is a difference also. Now let's see that diagram. So that is a Big Dipper and that is a Little Dipper. First, second, third, 4, 5, 6 and 7. That is a pointer that is moving to a Polaris star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. All are arranged in that form and making us some shapes, guys. Due to that shape, that is called a constellation. Due to that shape, that is called a constellation. That is a Big Dipper, that is a Little Dipper. And by observing that diagram, you can feel that is a having a large size, so that is called a Big Dipper, and that is a small in size. Due to that reason, it is called a Little Dipper also. As per the, remember, you can feel that is having a small in size, that is a large in a size. Okay, now last constellation is a Cassiopeia constellation, is a another prominent constellation in the northern sky. It is visible during a winter. During a winter in the early part at the of a night, it look like a distorted letter W. It is look like a distorted letter W, and you can see that is a also a M also. That's see. Okay, distorted means there is a some shape is not proper, but that is you can see that is a distorted order of a W and M. If you are seeing from that direction, that time you feel that is a W, and if you are seeing from that direction, that time you can feel that is a M also. That is alphabet, that is a capital alphabet W and M. Next we are moving to our important part, that chapter having a some important point, that is a solar system. In our solar system, all these are presenting, guys. That is the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto, declared as a planet in the 2006. That is declared in the at the time after discovering of in Earth behavior, and the you can say astronomy is continuously discovering. After some time, if some solar system having a different number of moons, some changes will be appearing time to time. So now we discuss the solar system, and that solar system you can see what is the mean of that solar system. Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, all are including in a solar system. Okay students, so we start that. So first of all we are discussing that the Sun is the star closest to Earth at a distance of 150 million kilometer from the Earth. Okay, light from the Sun takes 8 and 1/4 minutes to reach to a Earth's surface. The diameter of the Sun is over 109 times the diameter of the Earth. If you are compare the diameter of Earth and diameter of Sun, then 109 times more diameter of a Sun. Next data is a 333,000 times as heavy as the Earth. If you are compare the mass of the Earth and mass of the Sun, so what is the relation? 333 times 1000, 333,000 times more mass of the Sun. The Sun is made up of a hydrogen gas that is continuously being converted into a helium at an extremely high temperature. At the surface of a Sun, the hydrogen atoms react with some isotopes of hydrogen atoms and make a new formation, that is a helium. In that process, the large amount of energy will be released, and due to that reaction, Sun always is heat up with a very high temperature. The temperature of the Sun surface, that is 6000 degrees centigrade. It is a very high temperature, guys. Now, so the center of the Sun is thus extremely hot and about of 14 million degrees Celsius. If you are talking, we are talking 6000 degrees centigrade, that is a surface temperature. If you are talking the center of that Earth, that is a 14 million degrees Celsius. It is a very high temperature. We can't assume anything else. The next nearest star, Alpha Centauri, is several times bigger than the Sun, but it appears tiny as it much away from us. If you are talking about the Sun and the next star, that is the Alpha Centaurus. The Alpha Centauri having a very large size as compared to Sun, but we are seeing a very small in a size due to a long distance, due to a very long distance. Sometimes from some areas on the surface of Sun, hot gases shoot outwards. First question, it is taken from exercise number 1, which is given in your modules. So stars are mainly made up of, so stars are mainly made up of oxygen, oxygen and nitrogen, water and helium, and hydrogen and helium. So find the correct answer, dear student. Most of the students gives the correct answer if they are attending all the lectures carefully. So choose your answer. Now match your answer. So which is the correct answer, guys? So C option is the correct. Now hydrogen and helium are the correct answer. Whenever we are show any questions, first of all mark your answer in your mind, and after providing a right answer, please match your and judge yourself. Second one is a sun is a star, planet, galaxy and comet. So which is the correct answer? Sun is a star. Sun is a star. Sun is a star. Star appears motionless because first they move with a same speed as that of the earth. Second option, they do not move at all. Third option, they are very far away from the earth. Last option is their speed is extremely slow. So which is the correct answer? Now mark your correct answer in your mind. Now match your answer. So which is the correct answer, guys? So C option is the correct answer. They are very far away from the earth. They are very far away from the earth. Galaxies. Now that question related to a galaxy's motions. Move towards each other, move away from each other, and do not move at all, and none of these. So dear students, you know that there are many galaxies are available in your solar systems. Okay, if you talk about that number of galaxies, that are 10 to the power 11 galaxies, and every galaxy having a 10 to the power 11 stars. Okay, so which is the correct option, guys? So one galaxy and other galaxies, it move towards each other. If they are moving towards each other, that time after some time it will be combined to each other, but it's not happening. Means, guys, that is not a correct answer. So B option is the correct. It moves away from each other. It moves away from each other. Any heavenly body having light of its own is called. If any body is having a light of its own light means which is called comets, meteoroids, planet and star. It is a planet. It is a planet. Okay, so that is a right answer.